Hey, you, a first-time homebuyer in Seattle? Now, most people in your shoes think that they need a mountain of cash saved before they even start looking. Now, that one myth is keeping people out of homes that they could already be living in right now. Now, most people don't know that the barrier to getting into your first Seattle home is a lot lower than you think. And there are programs in Washington state that can hand you real money towards your down payment, if you qualify, that is. Here, I break down what it actually takes to buy your first home in Seattle in 2026. No fluff, no overwhelm. Also stick around, I have some free goodies at the end of this video that you're going to want to have access to. It's absolutely free. Hey, Ravi Ramachandran with the Rams Group here. We are Seattle and East Side Realtors. We specialize in relocation, sellers, and buyers across the King County area, which is Seattle and East Side predominantly. And I hold a dual credential as well as a managing broker on the real estate side and a licensed mortgage loan originator, which means I can handle both the home search and the financing aspect in one place. Now, before we get into this, if you are a first-time buyer and trying to figure out what you can actually afford in Seattle right now, let's connect. Direct message me, text, or feel free to book an absolutely no obligation consultation call using the Calendly link in the description below. Together, let's map out a strategy for you. Now let's get into it. So before we begin, let me tell you about a client I worked with last year. Mid-30s, solid tech job, had been saving for almost 2 years. Now she called me, convinced that she was not ready to buy. And she had done the math on 20% down, and the number felt impossible for her to reach. Now we got on a call, and she was in a home about 3 months later. Now here's what absolutely changed for her. Now she did not know that 20% was not a requirement. And the moment she understood that, the whole picture shifted for the better. And that's exactly what this video is about. Not textbook mortgage education, that's boring. The actual mindset shift that gets first-time home buyers in Seattle off the sidelines and into action, meaning getting into homes. So here's the reality to start off. Seattle homes are expensive, no question, but expensive doesn't mean impossible. And buyers who are winning right now are not the ones with the most amount of cash. They're the ones who basically understand what is actually available to them, choices-wise, and how they can go in and make a successful execution of owning a home. Now, at the outset, there are 3 paths for first-time home buyers in Seattle right now. Let's walk through all 3, and I promise to keep this simple so that you can understand. Path number 1 is the conventional route with as little as 3% down. Now, picture this. A $700,000 condo or a townhome in Seattle. Now, most people assume they need about $140,000 to buy. The actual minimum, around $21,000. Yeah, 3% of $700,000. You will pay a small monthly insurance premium until you build enough equity and get it about 20% or higher. That's the caveat. Once you hit that and request the cancellation, goes away for good. Not complicated, fine print, just a lower barrier to entry than most people realize. Path number 2 is the FHA route. This one is for buyers who have a lower credit score or carry more debt and need a little more flexibility to qualify. Now, the down payment is slightly higher than conventional, but still a fraction of what most people think they need. The cool part. Now, the trade-off though is that the mortgage insurance premium sticks around longer than conventional. But for the right buyer, this path opens the door that would otherwise be shut. And it totally works at Seattle's price points because the loan limits in King County specifically are among the highest in the country because of the prices of real estate here. Then, path number 3 is the down payment assistance available. This one genuinely surprises people. Now, Washington State has programs that will hand you real money towards your down payment. Yep, that's a deferred loan, if you will. 0 interest, no monthly payments, and you pay it back only when you sell or refinance, not before, giving you the cash cushion and affordability. And if you are buying within Seattle city limits, the city has its own separate program that stacks on top of the state provided one. Now put them together and your out-of-pocket costs at closing can drop dramatically. Now here's the honest truth about those programs though. Which ones you qualify for, how much you can get, and how to stack them together. That all depends on your specific income, your loan amount, and exactly where you're buying. So instead of me rattling off program details that may not apply to your situation, direct message me the word buyer. I will look at your numbers at a high level and tell you what exactly you qualify for. And that conversation is absolutely free, and it's the fastest way to know where you exactly stand. Then the next question is, what does the monthly payment actually feel like? Say, let's assume a $700,000 home as our benchmark. With a modest down payment at today's rates, you're looking at a total payment of somewhere around $5,000 once you factor in taxes and insurance. Now, is that a stretch? For some people, absolutely yes. But for a household with 2 solid incomes or a strong single tech earner, that's a very achievable number if you ask me. And that beats rent hands down because you'll have nothing to show at the end of the year if you rent it. Now, here's one thing that surprises almost every first-time buyer I work with. The down payment is usually not the hardest part. It is the closing costs. You need additional cash at the table on top of your down payment, typically a few percent points of the purchase price. Now build that into your savings plan early. Know that number first before you even start shopping. Now nothing derails a first-time home buyer faster than getting to closing and being blindsided by the closing costs. It is an important component. All that said, here is the takeaway. Ready? The 20% down myth is not real. There are real paths into Seattle homeownership with far less cash than most people think. Washington State will give you money towards your down payment at 0 interest, and your real savings target is your down payment plus a buffer for closing costs, not the enormous number that some people assume and build in their heads. All that out of the way, here are the goodies that I promised to you at the beginning of this video. Direct message me the word buyer and I will send you our first-time home buyer guide, absolutely free. It's a step-by-step breakdown of the process, what to watch for in the Seattle market, and how to figure out which down payment programs you qualify for. No strings attached. You'll be glad you did. Hey, if you found value in this video, give it a like. Share it with anyone who's thinking about buying their first home in Seattle, would you? Might help them. I've also included my contact information in the description below for you to get in touch. Happy to brainstorm, offer strategies for you so that you come out as a winner and win big.